Let's not take our eye off the ball when it comes to Judge Aileen Cannon. Remember last week on March 1st, she held that hearing where she was supposed to set a trial date, and she even discussed her inclination to release confidential records that were produced by special counsel Jack Smith during discovery, turn that over on the public docket and put in jeopardy confidential informants, FBI code names, confidential witnesses in the case. But she has not yet made a ruling regarding even when the trial date's going to be. She's not yet made any rulings when it comes to the Classified Information Procedure Act, CIPA Section 4, and whether Special Counsel Jack Smith and his team may withhold certain highly classified records and substitute them with either redacted versions or summarized versions or some other type of replacement. She hasn't made any rulings there. She's not yet set a CIPA Section 5 hearing in a CIPA case, which is one of the most rudimentary things that a federal judge does in a CIPA case. You set a CIPA Section 5 hearing where the defendant requests to introduce certain classified information at trial, and there's hearings and disputes set up about that. No ruling there. And so she's created this utter mess on her docket, and now she's setting a hearing for next week on March 14th. She first set it for 8 a.m., then changed her mind and wants to now do it at 10 a.m. To discuss Donald Trump's and his co-defendants' motion to dismiss on various grounds, the superseding indictment, all right? And this is where Judge Aileen Cannon has really stepped into it by not just inviting amicus briefs, which are friend of the court briefs by outside parties, but saying it would be super helpful for her review to hear from people like, I don't know, Stephen Miller, for example, and to also hear from literally the group Citizens United and get to hear their amicus brief. She says, let me just read the minute order from earlier in the week. She goes, here's a paperless order granting the unopposed motion for leave to file amicus briefs. The court has reviewed the motions and finds the proposed amici bring to the court's attention relevant matter that may be of considerable help to the court in resolving the cited pretrial motions. And she goes, they are now accepted for the court's consideration. And these various amicus briefs, one is filed by Stephen Miller's group, like America First Legal Foundation or whatever the heck they're called. That's the group that goes along and basically files all of these lawsuits against companies, saying that the companies discriminate against white people. That's their big thing. And then Stephen Miller basically has one of these like 1-800-lawyer commercials that he does where he says, if you've been discriminated against because you are a white male, I'm the lawyer for you. I'm the lawyer for you. Okay. The fact that Judge Aileen Cannon claims that this crap is helpful to her tells you everything you need to know about Judge Aileen Cannon. Let me just show you. This is what Stephen Miller's commercial is, and Judge Cannon's like, I find this to be helpful. Here, just sit through this video. Do not hold it against me. I'm playing a video of Stephen Miller. And then, because it's so embarrassing to him, and then let's talk about how Judge Cannon's stepping into it more. Here, play this clip.
If you or a loved one were denied a job, raise, promotion, or professional opportunity as a result of diversity quotas, equity mandates, affirmative action, or other racial preferences, we want to hear from you. Please call us at 1-877-AFL-5454 or go to AF Legal.
Okay, so now we've reached the... Sorry, I'm not sure if you had a puke bag there. I sincerely apologize for showing that to you. But okay, so think about where we will be March 14th of 2024 in the Judge Aileen Cannon case, right? She will have had nearly a dozen motions, substantive motions now, that she has not ruled on issues like Donald Trump's claim that under the Presidential Records Act, our nuclear secrets are classified documents. This is the one that Stephen Miller's arguing to Judge Cannon, that our classified documents, our nuclear secrets, our war plans, that they actually belong to Donald Trump when he waves his Trumpy magic wand and telepathically declassifies it. They belong to him. Just by sending it to Mar-a-Lago, and it no longer belongs to we the people. They're no longer national defense information. He claims that they belong to him, and then he layers on that he should get absolute presidential immunity. Trump says, he goes, I'm like a rogue cop. He goes, which, by the way, you can be held liable as a rogue cop. He goes, I'm like a pedo priest, he says. He says, I'm like one of those bad, just like someone who's really bad at the church, you can get away with things. That's not the way that works either. I know there's been a lot of cover up there, but there doesn't mean there's no criminal accountability there. But that's Trump's argument. These amicus briefs are basically arguing that Trump is totally immune and they belong to him, but there's about a dozen motions now before Judge Cannon. Substantive. Remember Judge Tanya Chutkan in Washington, D.C.? I hope you do. I know the Supreme Court set oral arguments in the Washington, D.C. federal case, like the last possible date in April. But Judge Tanya Chutkan made rulings quickly, like most judges do, and they're supposed to do. You don't just sit on things and just wait and procrastinate and never make rulings. So now, on March 14th, you're going to have Judge Cannon have oral arguments, which will last the whole day. I'm sure she will be absolutely horrific and take Trump's side in every single argument. And then she's going to have to rule on all of these things. Now, let me give you my theory here in her own mind. She will not, in her own mind, if she could just find that under the Presidential Records Act or under a doctrine of immunity, that this case can't be brought, then she doesn't have to do any other work. Think about that. And I think that's how, as I always say, her corruption is matched by her incompetence. And I think also her laziness and just being an awful lawyer and frankly, a horrific judge. So I think in her own mind, she goes, okay, here's what I'm going to find. Some immunity argument, or say under the PRA, this whole case should be dismissed. So when I issue an order dismissing the case on this specific ground, then I don't have to issue a ruling on anything else. And that's why I think she says these amicus briefs are helpful and why she's focused on those issues, because she wants to she's like, okay, I need help here. I'm not very bright. In fact, I'm an idiot. I don't know what I'm doing. And so can I have like Stephen Miller, can you like basically prepare the order for me and what do I need to do? And then this way she could get her law. She can, okay, I'll just copy and paste what Trump says. I'll copy and paste what Stephen Miller says and what Citizens United says. And I'll find a way to ultimately I'll use that as my order. I'll get this case dismissed. Sure, special counsel Jack Smith may then appeal this. But look, let's face it, what Judge Cannon is hoping for, what the same way all of these MAGA crooks are, is they're hoping that through propaganda, through the media being utterly garbage, they're hoping hopefully Donald Trump gets in office. So then all of us incompetent or criminal or just culty, weirdo, whatever you want to call it, will be good then. She's in that camp, I think. So that's why I think what she's stepping into is a risk. And she's taking the risk. I'm just going all in because I could become a Supreme Court. Yeah, I could become a Supreme Court. Me, Alina Habba. Think about what the Supreme Court will look like. That'll be the United States of America. That's Cannon's vision. That's her move. Because why else would you just do all of this? Why would you schedule like this? The scheduling makes no sense. So watch what happens on Friday. But here's what I think is going to happen. I think justice is going to, call me naive, I think justice is going to prevail. Jack Smith will get an immediate appeal to the 11th Circuit. I think the 11th Circuit will find what Judge Cannon did to be so egregious that they will either eventually remove her or they will issue an order basically saying, we intend to remove you if you do this again, which I think she will. And I just think that's coming. I can't say that's in the next month or 2 months or 3 months or 4 months or whenever, but I'm confident that Trump will be convicted and that she will likely eventually be removed from this thing if she behaves the way she's demonstrated so far. I mean, do you have any faith in Judge Cannon? It's just so pathetic. Keep me posted. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million subscribers together. Have a good one.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.